So today is the day we get immersive. We get a little bit more immersed in this beautiful mod pack, Vault Hunters. And, well, there's a lot for us to do today. Let's go ahead and just jump right in and get started. First things first, I want to start automating a few things. And one thing that is kind of a pain to automate, I have semi-automated here, is all of these darn instant health potions. I have made insta health after insta health after insta health. And you know what? I'm just about tired of it. So I'm going to solve that problem today. So I extended out this bridge over here. I extended out our area, gave it a little bit more room. And we're also going to utilize the space underneath as well. So that is going to change here too. This right here is going to become a bunch of mixers. Yes. So we're going to have some mixers and a bottler here. Let me explain. So a few things that we're going to need. We're going to need water to pump water. Thankfully, this mod, Immersive Engineering, has a water pump. So it's going to be pretty nice. We just got to give it some power. All these machines are going to require power, by the way. So we are basically going to create a mixer that we send water to. That water is then going to be turned into an awkward potion fluid. That's going to send that fluid to another mixer, as you can see right here. That mixer is then going to turn the awkward potion into a healing potion. Then we're going to move it to this one. Send that fluid over here. That's going to turn it into a healing 2 potion, right? Then we're going to route all the fluid all the way right here to a bottling machine. Now, this isn't the only step because the bottling machine is just going to turn it into regular bottles of healing potion 2, which we want to turn into splash potions because it makes it easier. So we are going to have a few sections over here of just regular brewing stands that I'm going to try and automate. I don't know how. I've never actually automated a brewing stand, but I'm sure we can do it with vanilla redstone. And all we have to do is one simple step. So hopefully that's a thing we can do. And well, let's get started with building some multi-blocks. This little guidebook right here, this engineer's manual, is your book to everything immersive engineering. You can search over here if you're looking for something specific, but right here is the mixer. And I have it paused right now, but you can turn it on and it will show you step by step how to build it. If you also hit this button, it will show you what this machine looks like. Keep in mind, blue dots mean input. This is an item input. If you see the solid, that means it is an item. Blue also means it's input. The open ports mean it's fluid. And if you see the blue dot, that means it's an input. So over here is also the same fluid. And then the little dot here that is orange means output. So that is something to keep in mind. This little red dot here is also a place for redstone connectivity. And then another source that you need to keep in mind is this little dot up here that looks like copper. That is your power input. That's how this all works for this machine. So we're going to be sending items in here. The fluid is going to go here. So let's kind of break it down step by step. If we pause this, we can go layer by layer. And I kind of have this sort of mapped out. So if I click here, I can actually see what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and remove this. And I have all the items prepped up. Thankfully, I have them prepped up, because it takes a long time to sort of prep. That's probably one of the biggest things. But over here shows you all the materials kind of needed. At the moment, I'm still missing one item we're going to need for this. We're actually going to need 2 water pumps, and I'll show you that here in a second. So these are fluid pipes. This mod also, like this mod just feels really overlooked to me because it literally has everything. It has item transfer, fluid transfer. It has all these things that these other mods are sort of like gated behind, and all this is just, you know, just multi-blocks, and it's not super hard to build multi-blocks. All right, this block right here is a light, and then it seems like if I just keep building up, I add another layer, we're gonna have 2 light blocks that are here. The back is going to get the sheet metal along the back side here, just like that. Really reminiscent of like what it actually looks like when you see the full image. And then a redstone block here. And then we should have one more small layer. Right, go up to the next one. And it's just a steel fence, which goes right here. So place down a steel fence and literally a light engineering block. So the little red block right here that is showing, that is telling you where you need to right click with your engineer's hammer. And then in here I should have a hammer. Let's grab that out of there. And then I'll just right click and it completes the multi-block. Look at that. So I need to continue to make this. I got to make 3 more of them. And then I have 1 more multi-block to make right here, which is going to be the bottler. So this is the bottling machine. So this thing, basically we just send it fluid, and then we also send it bottles, so glass bottles. And at the moment I don't have that part automated, but we'll just kind of send it the bottles as needed. Shouldn't be super difficult to do. So pulling this up, it's very, very straightforward. Same as basically everything else we've done. Got to plop these down. The only thing is we have to add a pump. So that's a little bit different. Oh, this actually goes on the ground. So this goes here, and then this actually uses conveyor belts. And believe it or not, the conveyor belt, it's actually pretty smart. When you place a conveyor belt, you need to make sure it's going the direction you actually want this thing going. Because I believe the belts do matter in this case. This is a machine that I believe can go both directions. Hopefully I'm not mistaken. But as you can see, yeah, this right here. Now, it does tell you that you're going to need 2 fluid pumps, but it's not really true. This is actually a whole fluid pump here. And that looks like the entire structure. So we have 2 light blocks, and then we have 2 of these. So this, and then the 2 light blocks go here, and then this. Perfect. And this is the multi-block. And then we just add the conveyor belts, and we actually have to click the conveyor belts with the hammer. And there we go. That's the bottling machine. So remember the things I was telling you, the fluid goes here. This is the only thing that gets supported with fluid is this. There's no like interface, whereas this has an interface. And then right here, let's see, output only the bottom fluid. That would actually be, that's really useful. Output all fluids. No, we want to output only a specific fluid. So we actually might have to use a fluid, there's actually fluid routing, just like your item routing. We might have to use that for this. All depends on how this is going to work. So that way we only have certain fluids going out. We never want our water to be transferred into these. So this is going to be an interesting thing to automate. Now, I do have my other fluid pump, and this is going to be pumping water. So I need to figure out where exactly I'm going to place this. I could place it, honestly, right here, and then just kind of cover up the water, because all it needs is water on the sides. And I think, yeah, we place this just like this, where we say these are inputs. And that should create an infinite water source, if I'm not mistaken. So now that I have my multi-block set up, I'm about to run some power to them. We don't have a whole lot of power, but we are going to work on getting more. The one thing that I do want to try out and show you is that you can actually run power to lights. This thing right here, powered lantern, does require some iron sheets. Hopefully I have enough of these things. And I just figured this would be just a nice thing to sort of to use, because, you know, normally I would end up using the relays, but this actually acts as a relay, I believe. And so might as well put these to use and get some light out of it while we're doing it. It does consume a little bit of power, but it's nothing like crazy, right? Nothing that I think is going to affect this too much. So let's just go ahead and check. I want to make sure that this connects to here. As you can see, it gives it light, and then this connects to here. Move that. Make sure that connects. There we go. And that's nice and bright. And then, oh, I'm literally stuck inside my machine. And then make sure that connects, and there. Perfect. How do I get out of here? Okay, perfect. I am a total dork with this. I did mess this up. So, in order for the pump to work, I was thinking that it needed to be on the bottom. No. So the reason this has an input and an output is because this can actually be used to make fluids travel faster through these pretty slow fluid pipes. And so what you would have to do is, well, to get it to actually pump, we're gonna need a full solid water source. Everything else we did, perfectly fine. You know, when you don't use a mod for a long time, you sort of forget these things. And then all I have to do is do the exact same thing I had done before. Lever, that is going to act as a pump, and it's going to pump the fluids out. I do need to make sure this is set to output. And then I just route the fluids just like that. And then pop on some power because it does need power if it is pumping fluids. And other than that, we're good to go. Now, it's starting to send water in there, and that's exactly what we want to see. Perfect. Now, I do want to test this out first by putting some of this in here. And the reason why I want to make this, right, is this actually gives me a bonus in potions. So for one process, you would normally get 3 potions out. This actually will give you 4 bottles of the potion for the product that you get. So you are getting a bonus of an extra bottle, which is really, really nice. Now, I just want to make sure that once it consumes this, it gives it enough room in here for the, yeah, it does look like it's doing that. It is draining the water, and then that will end up probably putting it at the bottom, hopefully. Yeah, there's the awkward potion being generated at the bottom. So almost guarantee that we are going to have to do something with this. And with the output here, we're going to have to use probably fluid filters. That's almost guaranteed. Now, to be able to set up the filter, I'm going to have to use kind of a tank. This is a wooden barrel, and this wooden barrel is a tank that holds 12 buckets, I believe, of liquid. And so if this is going to output, hopefully this will output the awkward potion. Well, since there's only one place for it to go, it should only output to here if we do send pipes its way. So pipes, because I just want to be able to get a bucket worth of it, you know? And this has an input at the top. So is this actually sending that? It did. Okay, so this should have an entire bucket worth inside this wooden barrel. And if I break these pipes, which everything should be sent, just hoping we don't lose anything, I should be able to use a bucket on it. There we go. And so I just picked up the bucket of awkward potion just to make sure everything is working. I'll place this here. Notice the blue side, and we will say only awkward potion is allowed to come out of that side, meaning we can then hook this up, and this is only going to allow the awkward potion inside this thing. And we're going to continue doing that same thing all the way through until we have our potion out the other side. So this is going to look a little bit interesting, but I do have some brewing stands down here, and what I was trying to figure out is if I can automate the single brewing stand. The thing is I think it's going to be a lot larger of a redstone setup than what I was really wanting to do for such a simple thing. And so what I should be able to do is just have all 5 of these end up filling up with potions to start brewing, and that should work. We may end up using more gunpowder than I really want to, but all in all, this should actually produce. And honestly, like, what it should fill up is it should start this one fill up completely. This will fill up completely, fill up, and fill up. And we should have a backlog of stuff before it ends up going down the chute. So I don't know. Let's go ahead and get this set up. So after a lot of deliberations and a lot of me just racking my brain trying to figure out with redstone what to do, I finally broke down and decided to go with item routers. Should have done this the whole time. So what this will end up doing is it'll just end up looping stuff. So if things don't go into this item router, which I mean, it'll always go into this item router, it should just end up getting spit back out, and you know, we'll get routed over and over again. So on the green side, I'm going to make sure to select every single one and say, hey, on the green, we're going to be sending green these potions, and those are going to go into here. And this should be able to automatically work like a hopper and just input it right in. Hopefully I'm not like speaking without knowing exactly what this is going to do. Let's go ahead and actually try this. So I throw that, that spit that out. Let's give it a place to put it. And as you can see, it put that right in there. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So now that the item routers are routing items appropriately, I almost wonder if we could probably hopper out of here as well, because of the way this is set up. Well, you know what? Never mind. I'm speaking without, you know, doing anything. Yeah. So if there's nowhere else for it to go, it'll always spit it right back out over here, and we should be good. So I throw that, it should end up in this slot over here. There we go. And perfect. So we'll always have this amount, and I don't have to worry about now shutting this machine off. We should be fine now. Not really worrying about if this needs to be shut off or not. So yeah, not the prettiest solution, but it gets the job done for right now until we get some more sophisticated stuff. This, I think, works all fine. And we have potions, so anytime we need them, we just pop on over here and just grab them. So to fix the issue of the bottles, if this is completely empty, which it is, then this will spit out over here. The bottles will get routed out and go into another item router. This item router is set up to make sure the glass bottles go over here. And that's going to end up in this chest if I don't pick them up off the conveyor belt. And it's going to rinse and repeat until we have all of the items that we need to go into this machine. Now, getting conveyor belts over here, well, that's a whole other thing that I'm about to do. So I'm working on my conveyor belt spaghetti over here, and well, I think it's actually working out pretty well. All I have to do is tell this, hey, we are going to be on what looks like the red side. We need to say, all right, I'm going to specify only allow this item in, and then that's going to output the item over here because there's nowhere else for the item to go. And then over here, we need to specify on the blue side that golden apples can be the only thing that goes out. And then over here on the yellow, we'll say, hey, the yellow is this. So what this allows me to do is put all of the items into a chest over here. And this will just get everything working. So if I say, all right, I'm going to do 8 of each, I can just throw them in all willy-nilly, just so long as I know I have equal parts. Throw them in there. The conveyor is going to pull them along, and we should be able to stand on something to be able to see. It's going to route there, and we should see that, yeah, everything's being distributed properly. Golden apples are going in, and we're good. It may be conveyor belt spaghetti, but it's some nice spaghetti. That's true. Very, very nice. Okay, so I was playing around with this and found a solution to pretty much this entire issue that I was having earlier. And I didn't realize the item router was an extension of this. You can make an extension of this conveyor, which literally changes every automation task I can think of. Because what I can do is now break this down, because I no longer need this. I mean, I'm going to use it for the routing, but what I can do, which is insane, let's go ahead and remove this because this is no longer needed. This is insane. So I can have an item router connected to this, right? Actually, I could probably just have this same item router right here and have this connected here with a barrel. And I'll just show you what happens. If I set this to the west, that only a specific item can come out of this brewing stand, which being splash potions, I'm going to say, all right, only on the west side can splash potions be pulled out, and then place down an extracting conveyor and have that going into a barrel or an inventory. And this is literally going to pull out. Actually, it's not pulling out of this, but it will pull out of one that is directly connected. Well, let's try this. Let's try one that is literally directly connected, because this was crazy. So we'll have that on the west direction, and then I'll have my barrel, which will be here. And it's directly connected. And as you can see, it pulls out, but I do have to filter. Let's see, it is pulling out all of the blaze. Is there any specific reason why it's pulling out? Oh, it's because I have it set to west. So I have this set on the wrong direction. This actually needs to be set to the blue. And now, if I throw the blaze back in there, which will be fine, now it'll only pull that out. So you notice no more blazes coming out of here. Yeah, so that is actually fully automated here. Let's get some glass and make some bottles. Oh my. I am ecstatic here. This will fill. Oh, the amount of redstone this removes is amazing. So yeah, these bottles are going to continue to circulate until there is an available slot here. On the brewing, like we could do 3 of them just to make sure it's fast enough. But yeah, once this is done, it's going to end up in here. Oh my gosh. That is fantastic. So I have a few skill points that I need to spend. You know, since we got our potions and everything automated, I think I should definitely utilize some of this to also sort of boost what we're going to need later on for this. Like, I feel like later on, animal stuff is going to be some of the hardest for us to get, because breeding animals is kind of a pain, doing it normal style, and we don't have any mod that really helps us with it yet. So I'm thinking, I have 5 unspent skill points, and there's a few things that I could probably max out, and I think Twerker is definitely the thing I should max out. It has no level requirements, 3 more points, and we have this thing maxed out. So I'm going to max this out, and now we can actually grow baby animals. So believe it or not, like, we can actually use that. And then I'm going to spend the rest of the 2 on unbreaking. This is going to prevent durability loss on our current armor, and I think that's actually a good thing to do. Now, I would have went with well fit, but we already have 4 extra hearts, which I think is pretty awesome. And the next points I want to be saving up for is once we hit the level 40, we are going to unlock this, which is going to be 3 points. And currently I'm at 37, so we will have 3 points by the time we hit that. But at the moment, the growing baby animals. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, because this is going to be fantastic. So let's grab some wheat, carrots, and seeds, right? I think that's everything we would ever need for animals. So let's see how this actually works with growing baby animals, because I am just as curious as you probably are. So we do this, and that's going to be a baby, and oh my gosh, and it resets the growth timer. Okay. Right? It resets the breed timer? That's kind of cool, actually. That means we're probably going to need a bigger pin than this. Oh man, I didn't realize that it worked that fast. That is instant. Now, it also works on sugarcane. Oh, wow. So yeah, I mean, it's not super fast on sugarcane, but it does grow it. No longer do I have to wait for sugarcane to grow. I could just make a nice little area and just sit here and AFK farm it for a little while. That's nice. That keeps our farms at a minimum, because that is one thing. Like, our farms could get kind of ridiculous. All right, and then we have our chickens, which if we have 4 at the moment, like, that should mean baby chickens grow up, and then those can be bred together, because it does reset their timer. Yeah, this allows for growing of the animals a lot faster. That's crazy. So now, after spending an entire episode, I basically have full-blown potion automation, which I was not expecting to do. Not in this factor. I mean, I was not expecting it to actually, like, export out of the brewing stands and everything for me. This is... oh boy, that changed everything. That changed my whole outlook on this whole mod now. The fact that this allows this. I didn't realize that, yeah, this acts as an extension of the conveyor belt, giving a extracting filter. My mind is blown. Yeah. Anyways, guys, it's time to thank the sponsor of today's video. This has been exciting. And that huge thanks today, well, that is going to go to Breacher over on the Discord. Thank you so much for your amazing support, by the way, over on the Discord, becoming a Discord premium member. And of course, guys, if you are interested in becoming a Discord member yourself, all you gotta do is go to discord.gg/ChosenArchitect. And of course, you can find all the amazing info over there on the FAQ. Of course, guys, be sure to click that subscribe button. These episodes take so long to make. And by the way, we are so close to 510,000 subscribers. Already 510,000. Guys, you guys are going so fast. Like, slow down. No, I'm just kidding. Don't slow down. Go faster. Anyways, thank you guys. I'll see you in the next episode. And as always, thanks for watching.